The first corruption. In the first garden, before iron, before grave soil, before the mouths of men learned prayer from fear, the world was still unbroken. Light lay over Eden like a hand in blessing, and every leaf knew its maker. The rivers moved without hunger. The beasts slept without blood in their dreams. Even the dark beneath the roots was only dark, not wicked. Then something looked in, not from the sky God kindled, nor from the dust he lifted into breath, but from a further place, a seam behind the seam, a wound hidden in the cloth of heaven. And there in the stillness between birdsong and wind, the veil thinned. It did not arrive like thunder. No trumpet marked it, no star fell burning. It came softly, as a rot comes softly, as a bruise blooms beneath fair skin, as a thought not yours settles in the chambers of the mind. It calls itself desire. The first of the changed stepped barefoot into Eden, where its feet pressed. The grass bent and did not rise. The lilies nearest it folded shut. The water in the river trembled from its reflection. Though it had no face, the river could keep. Its flesh shone strange in the holy light, not made radiant, but slick, and though another world's night still clung to it, it had the shape of something almost beloved. That was its blasphemy. The curve of a living thing, the promise of warmth, the invitation of form, but marred from the first glance, as if beauty had been remembered wrong by something that hated God, yet envied what he made. And Eden knew. The branches grew still, the serpent buried its head beneath a stone, the doves went silent in the fig trees. Even the sun seemed for one trembling instant to recoil upon the world it lit, for the changed did not come to kill at first. Death was only ever the shadow of its purpose. It came to unmake the boundary, to teach flesh to betray itself, to turn wonder into fever, to bend what was innocent towards craving until the soul, looking upon its own body, would no longer know the difference between joy and ruin. It moved among the trees as if returning to a place it had never been allowed to enter. Its long limbs brushed bark, and where they passed, sap blackened. Fruit swelled too quickly on the bough. Vines tightened in seeded trunks, and hands learned how to choke. Then Adam felt it. Not touch, not nearness, a pressure in the blood, the sweetness gone wrong, and warmth in no source of the air. And Eden, Eve, bright Eve, first mother of morning, turned her face towards the eastern grove, and wept without knowing why. For some evils did not strike the flesh first. They entered as ache, as curiosity, as longing mourned from its name, as the terrible silent certainty that something is watching and wanting and rejoicing that you can feel it. The changed stood beneath the tree and lifted its headless gaze to the branches of knowing, and all at once the garden shuddered, not because the fruit was taken that would come, and man would bear his blame, but because corruption had found witness, because the first time in all living earth there existed a thing that did not belong, would not bow, could not sing, a hungered for life. Not for life, but its twisting. Then God called. The sound split morning from itself. The rivers recoiled into its banks. The beasts threw themselves flat in the grass. The trees groaned as though winter had entered the marrow of the wood. And the changed, hearing the voice that named light, did not kneel. It smiled, if such a thing can be said of a mouth that opened too far and meant no mercy. So Eden was not lost in a single bite alone. It was first stained by presence, by intrusion, by the impossible footstep, by the thing from beyond the first law dragging its shadow across holy ground. Since then, every locked door knows its echo, every candle lit against the dark remembers, every sleeping child, every shivering field, every veil that thins at the edge of night bears the memory of that first trespass, for before man was cast out, something else had already entered, and the earth, in its deepest places, has never stopped trying to spit it back out.